Was Baylin not still in the living room?
No. Oh, I hear the stairs. They're on the stairs. James should be joining.
I got a funny Christmas story. It just happened at church today. So,
Okay, cool. Well, hey, this is everybody that's going to be with us tonight. Joy sent a message that said she wasn't sure she was going to make it. So
Okay.
we are here and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So sorry we couldn't be in person. And
That's
I
okay.
don't think Karen is sick, but we figured with the way things were going at the school, we know that God was watching after Karen and taking care of her, but we don't want to take any kind of unnecessary risks when we can still meet like this. So we're still on for Christmas Eve because we're hope by then that she'll get her test results back. We just wanted to, we're not afraid to take a test because if we believe it to be that she's not COVID positive, then what's there to be afraid of taking a test? And so, but we want to have that paper in hand that says, see, nah. Karen is uncontaminated. But so for tonight, we'll just stay here and then we'll combine our plans for tonight and for Christmas Eve together all in one on Christmas Eve.
That works.
Lord willing, and if the county comes through with their test results. So
I apologize. I apologize. We were supposed to have them yesterday. But when we called the county office yesterday at 3 o'clock after not hearing by 2, the recording said, we are closed today.
Well, I looked online and they had no Saturday hours. So I thought, why are they telling you that they're going to give you results when they have no Saturday hours listed?
Your guess is as good as mine. So,
because they don't know what they're doing.
Well, the COVID hotline said if you call there, they would be able to find you a place, but I don't know any place that's open Saturday. I don't know.
yeah.
But anyway.
Right. Well, I wouldn't want their job, so we'll just be patient and keep waiting, knowing that I have no symptoms, but that doesn't mean that I can't pass it on, and so I want to just be sure that I can't pass it on before any of you are in the home again. So I'm sorry for the inconvenience of this, but glad that we have technology. So
Nothing to be sorry for.
Yeah, nothing to be sorry for.
Are you going to be able to take the vaccine?
I don't know that yet. We have to see what the vaccine is made of, and I don't know. I can't take flu vaccines. I don't know. I don't know what the vaccine is made of, so we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't know how to answer that.
There
They
will
say
be
there's
more.
3 different ones.
Yeah, there'll be more than one.
Right. When you're like me and you have weird allergies, you just have to read all of the ingredients, and so we'll see what they are when they come out and go from there.
One of my girlfriends got
That's what I figured.
COVID, and she had a couple of symptoms, and her daughter said, you better go get the test. She's had 2 of them because she had an ablation. She had to have it for that. Well, she said after she got the test, she had no symptoms. And you want to know where she got COVID? In the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Doctor's office. Yeah.
Well,
So she was either a false positive or I don't know. But she isolated herself, quarantined, and she's fine now. But she had no more symptoms after the test. I don't know. Weird.
right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so here we are. And so, Sherry, you said you had a story you wanted to tell. So if it's public friendly, then go right ahead and tell your story. We're happy to hear it.
It is.
All right. Go.
The church that I've been going to, the pastor said, well, we can't really have a Christmas program for the kids this year because they can't get together and practice, blah, 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 kind of thing. So what they did was they had the kids at home and they told the story from home. So while they were telling the story, they were having like kind of a cartoon kind of thing going along with it. So one of the little boys, he must have been like about 3, he said, Mommy, he says, I don't know what part I'm supposed to say. Well, then they got to the part where the 3 wise men bring their stuff, and instead of saying frankincense, they said Frankenstein. And they put a picture of Frankenstein up on the screen, in cartoon form.
Right.
But it was so cute. It was so cute. And then when they start their service, they have music and stuff, and they had all the kids were playing. Some of the kids were playing instruments and that kind of thing. But then afterwards, they listed all the kids' names. But I thought the part where they said Frankenstein was kind of funny. I thought it was really cute. But they did an awesome job. They did an awesome job.
Well, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for sharing that story. And since we're in that storytelling mood, does anybody have any testimonies or anything good that's been going on? Anything you want to share before we get started? It's always a risky thing to ask that question. Okay.
I have a nephew that his birthday is the 21st, and my folks had like 7 birthdays in December.
Wow.
Counting I had 2 brothers, 2 nieces, and 2 nephews. Well, the one nephew, his birthday was on the 21st. My youngest brother, his daughter is born on the 23rd, and the nephew that was born on the 21st, he says, good, now I don't have to be the last one. And that was probably one of the last Christmases that I remember of all of us getting together before my folks had their strokes. And that was probably back in, I want to say 72.
Wow. Yeah, you feel bad sometimes for kids that have their birthdays at the same time as Christmas. Poor
Right.
Joe. Her birthday's on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day, yeah. So, yeah, that's rough for those kids. So, all right, cool. Well, hey, tonight will probably be pretty short because we had other plans. So I didn't get a chance to really prepare much for tonight, and I didn't want to keep going with our Luke study. Just save that for the beginning of the year. So I put out a message to you guys. I don't know if you saw it, but I asked you to share with the group your favorite Christmas-related Bible verse and share just a little bit about that. I don't know if y'all saw that or not, or had a chance to find something to share. But that's what I thought we'd do today, is to just take a few minutes and each of us just share, maybe a Bible verse that's related to Christmas. And if you can't think of one, then maybe just a Christmas memory that is associated with Christmas, obviously, but just a memory that's encouraging, or I guess just any memory that you wanted to share with the group. As we that's the whole point of tonight, was to celebrate Jesus' coming, and think about the different Christmases we've had in the past, and think about Christmas looking forward, and how it's most definitely different this year. And so I wanted to give you all the opportunity to do that. And so I don't know if anybody had one that they wanted to kick us off with, or if you would like me to share a couple of verses and give you guys some time to scramble and look for something. You tell me what you want to do.
I know. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Bonnie.
You guys are just across the room from each other, right?
No.
Or are you in different places?
No, I should go to her place today.
Oh, okay.
She's in her own little cubby hole.
All right. She's in her own house now. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, hey, here's what I will start off with one, and then that will give you all a chance to think of something and maybe sort of get your wheels turning or something like that. So, and I'm going to take one so we don't take an easy one. I want to take an easy one away from anybody.
You took mine.
What? No, you're not allowed to do that. Because you're looking at my screen. That's not fair.
That's what I was looking up.
Well, you should have known. All right, so this is one that I like a lot, and it's not like your sort of traditional people think of the Bible verses that are related to Christmas. They think of stuff like stuff that's in the New Testament, because that's where Jesus comes onto the scene. But one of my favorite Christmas verses is actually this one that's found in Isaiah chapter 9. And this was just always a verse that just always grabbed my attention, and I'll tell you why after we read it. But it says this. I'll read the whole thing, but I've got a couple of verses highlighted that are specifically meaningful to me. So here we go, chapter 9. Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who were in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, but in the future he will honor Galilee of the nations by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased their joy. They rejoice before you as people rejoice at the harvest, as warriors rejoice when dividing the plunder. For as in the day of Midian's defeat, you have shattered the yoke that burdens them, the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor. Every warrior's boot used in battle and every garment rolled in blood will be destined for burning and will be fuel for the fire. For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. And the reason that I picked this one is that particularly verse 2 really calls out to me. I think we are all really familiar with verse 6 and on, where it says, "For unto us a child is born." It's like there's a Christmas song even that uses that as a verse. But verse 2 is one that always really caught my attention. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. And just this idea of light at Christmas has always been super meaningful to me. One of my favorite Christmas memories and favorite Christmas traditions is going out and taking a drive on Christmas Eve after we go to the Christmas Eve candlelight service, and driving around and looking at all of the Christmas lights, and that's something that is always something I look forward to when I was a kid. And then even as an adult going back home, we would go back home to Arizona, even before the kids were born. We would go home for the Christmas Eve service. And it was always still something I look forward to, taking that long road home. Stopping by, at the time, we go to Sonic and we get, sodas and corn dogs. But then once we got a Starbucks, then we go to Starbucks and we get, coffee and hot chocolate and that sort of thing. But just sort of making an evening of it, of going and seeing all the lights. And it's one of the things that's, to me, is part of the, if we can say magic of Christmas. One of the magical things of Christmas is just all the lights that you see, because it gets dark soon, right? And we never really experienced that like in a significant way till we came here to Michigan, where it gets dark at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Right? I was looking out the other day. It was like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I was looking out and I could see that our Christmas lights were on out on the front, and I was like, they're on a dusk to dawn light. Why are they on right now? So I'm thinking, well, because the dusk to dawn light thinks it's dusk, I guess. And it really was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but they were already on. And but it is this idea that these tiny little sparkly little lights can light up, a dark place. And at Christmas time, everybody puts out their lights, and it's just beautiful to see all those lights. And when we're at the Christmas Eve service or whatnot, and we've got the candles, and they turn off the lights, and everybody's holding their itty bitty little candles, and you just have that warm glow everywhere. It just sort of makes you think about that idea that just the smallest bit of light can really change things in a dark place. In this verse, the people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. And just thinking of the relief that one feels when you're in a dark place and suddenly a light becomes available, and that imagery that is used to describe Jesus. This is a prophecy about Jesus coming. And one of the things that the prophet Isaiah said was that he would bring light. And for a lot of people who are in a dark moment or experiencing darkness, it's a relief to see that light and the joy that it brings when you don't have to be in the darkness anymore. And I know that for a lot of people, the holidays can be a really difficult time. Not just Christmas, but Thanksgiving, New Year. There's so much weight and so much significance on this time of year that for a lot of us, we put a whole lot of extra expectations. I know that that even really not too long ago, it was always just so stressful. Christmas became stressful because we had to find like the perfect gifts, right? And we had to make sure that we got the right Santa gifts, and we snuck them in, and we, and the weight that we put on ourselves to make Christmas perfect or something special. And then, I don't know when, but it quickly became apparent that really sometimes our effort to make everything so perfect makes everything unbearable. Right? And so sometimes it's just good just to let it go and to enjoy and to be in that, and just to be experiencing this season, experiencing the time that you have. And I know that, like I said, for a lot of people, it carries a weight, it carries a burden, especially that family connection, and thinking about people who aren't with us now, or people who can't be with us, and maybe they're not dead, but they can't be here. And it puts a burden on our hearts, and sometimes this magical time of light can quickly turn dark for a lot of people. But I wanted to just this verse has always been an encouragement that in darkness, when we are in a dark place, a lot of times we have to look for the light. We have to actually seek it out. One of the things was that you don't just, pull out of the driveway and then the lights are there. You actually have to go and know which neighborhood to go to. And, like you go to the rich neighborhoods because those are the ones that have got like the spark, the laser light show and stuff. But sometimes you have to look for it. You have to go out and find it. But it's not hard to find if you look for it. And so that's why this one I think is really, really meaningful to me. Just this idea of light coming into darkness at Christmas time. I think for me it's the best metaphor of what Christmas is all about. So there you go. I set you guys up What do you guys think? Who's got a
Well,
Bible verse or something?
I'm kind of like you, Jeremy. Every year I go out and look at the lights, and sometimes I can find a friend to go with me. And like this year with a COVID thing, I just decided one night I was going to go down to Hackley Park. And I wasn't going to get out of the car, but there were some people down there with their kids. So I thought, what the heck, you know? So I did that, and then I took a bunch of pictures, and then I went down. If you really want to see some good lights, I went down by Cole's Bakery and that road that goes down there through Lakeside, and they got some gorgeous lights down there. And I think because people are home more and stuff, that people go, what I do is I go out and search out all the beautiful lights, and then if I can find a friend to go with me, that's what I do. I take them around. But I may be cheating a little bit, but what I'm going to say is the Christmas story about the birth of Jesus, because if it wasn't for Jesus, I wouldn't be here. And one of my favorite cartoons of all time is the Charlie Brown Christmas. And I was reading somewhere where Charles Schultz was told not to put that in there. People didn't want the part where Linus tells about the birth of Christ and what Christmas is all about. And I don't think that really down through all the years, I think that's been on since 63 or something. I don't think that it would have had the same meaning if they took that out. I mean, they would have had to change the whole aspect of it. And I just think that the story of Jesus is just a beautiful story. And I know they say we don't actually know when he was born, but it's good that we picked a day that we can all celebrate the birth of Jesus. And for me, it's kind of hard because I know my mom's been gone for 11 years, but that was her favorite holiday. She always told my nephew once he got married that he didn't have to come for Thanksgiving, but he better be there for Christmas. And I always had to be, when I was growing up, I would go to my dad's, and I always had to be home for Christmas. And it was kind of hard because if I was at my mom's for Christmas morning and went to my dad's in the afternoon, we had to leave all our toys and everything, but she wanted everybody home for Christmas morning. But, and sometimes when I'm listening to Christmas music, like I'll be home for Christmas or something, I'll think about my mom and it just brings tears to my eyes. But my favorite, like I said, is the Christmas story, because if it wasn't for Jesus and the birth of Jesus, I wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be anybody here, actually. And I'm so thankful that I'm a child of God.
Awesome. Sorry, I was muted. I was trying to mute myself so your voice would come through. Yeah, great. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that, for your insight. That's cool. So that was Sherry. I'm gonna pick everybody, so your time will come. You don't get out of the. You don't get out of it. So who's next? Next volunteer / victim. Did you find a new Bible verse?
No, you took mine, but
come on.
I will say that.
Jeremy, thou shalt not steal.
Hey, I didn't steal it. I put it up first.
No, I was looking for it. My phone is evidence. I will say that my part of the verse that rings true to me is that he is my Prince of Peace. That he has it all on his shoulders, and that he is not only mighty God and everlasting Father, but he's Prince of Peace. So we never got to open Christmas presents without reading the Bible story first. And if my dad was feeling particularly ornery, we might have to read it in more than one version.
And all the genealogies.
And all the genealogies of Jesus. and the story of the three wise men, and but I can still hear his voice whenever we sit down to do the Christmas story. And there were in those days shepherds abiding by their flocks at night. Because he would put on that brogue extra just to make it longer, you know? And he was always so excited for Christmas morning. There were always at least 2 presents that were unwrapped because Santa had been there. And we got to hold those while we listened to the story. But he was just always so excited for it. And I think that above all else this Christmas, knowing that the Prince of Peace is in control, that brings the most.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would do that. He would really draw it out really slow just to torture us.
Yes.
I tried that when we were back home a couple weeks Christmas, and I tried that and everybody got mad at me, so I had to read the condensed version because they wanted to get going. But anyhow, so thank you, Karen. All right, don't make me call on somebody. All right, I'm gonna call on somebody. I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead,
Kaylin.
Judy.
Oh, Judy.
I'm listening.
All right. You're listening? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna call on Baylin.
1 sec.
1 sec.
She's looking.
She's
I
looking.
have one,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if it's kind of, you wouldn't really think of this one for Christmas. I don't
Okay.
know exactly where it is.
What is it?
It was one that Mr. V had us memorize during Christmas time, and that's why I think it sticks out to me. It's, we all like sheep have gone astray, and each has gone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all.
Okay.
And then it was like a little song. And it was like, we all like sheep have gone astray, ba ba do ba ba. We each has gone to his own way, ba ba do ba ba. The Lord has laid on him, the iniquity of us all. Sing ba ba do ba ba. And we were so confused. Yeah, probably. But we were so confused when he had us learn that one around Christmas time, and he said that it was because when you're sitting like during Christmas time, you just think of the whole, oh, look at precious Mary and her baby, and oh, look, the wise men came all this way, isn't that special? But he brought it to our attention that you also need to be focusing on the importance of Jesus' birth and why he came, because it wasn't just oh, what a precious little night. It was this is the beginning of a long story, and so you need to know the extra part of it. And plus, it's like, if you look, like, Isaiah was way before Jesus, and yet he was still talking about Jesus, and like there's other ones I don't remember that where he talks about the Messiah and a child, and so it's kind of cool that I thought we on a straight.
All right. I think that we should petition to have that song added as a Christmas carol,
I agree.
and they will play it on the radio.
I petition
Over
that
and
we have
over and
Baylin
over
do a
again.
solo.
You just did.
I already did. It's
Christmas
on
Eve.
right there.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Yeah, on Christmas Eve, Baylin will sing it as a solo. We will see that it is done. All right. Okay. All right. Anybody else? It doesn't have to be a Bible verse. Like I said, if you just have a Christmas memory or a tradition that is particularly meaningful to you, then you can share that also.
I don't have a particular Bible verse
Okay.
pertaining to Christmas. The Bible just in itself is amazing and mysterious, and it's just like you can read it and turn around the next day and read it, and it's just a whole new meaning to it. It just is amazing to me. God's word is totally amazing, but I do have a memory. When I were small, Christmas Eve was always at my grandparents' house, at my dad's parents' house, and it was a traditional Swedish meal of root fish and potato sausage and all the other stuff. And Santa was in the picture, of course, and we were told that we didn't eat our supper, we didn't have Santa. So, what kid isn't going to hurry up through supper to get Santa? But I had a very wise grandmother, and she is one of the people that have gotten me where I am today. Even though there was Santa in the picture and a lot of other dysfunctional things going on, because I came from a very dysfunctional family, she always made sure that the story of Jesus's birth was recited or read. She put us all in a circle, the kids, not the grown-ups, but the kids, all in a circle, and then she would proceed to read the story of Jesus so that we understood the real meaning of what Christmas was all about. And that always stayed with me, is that she always made sure that even in the chaos, we were quieted down to really remember what Christmas was really all about.
Yeah, we all have that one family, right? That keeps a family member that keeps us grounded and reminds us of what it's all about. And I know, I don't know if Noah is going to share or not because he's way back there in the back. But
I can if you want.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Come this
please.
way. Come this way.
I was like, oh, look at that. I was going to let him off the hook, but there you go. You just stepped right into it. So we'll see if he shares the same thing I was going to share. Go ahead, Noah. Speak up.
What were you going to share?
Well, you tell yours first, and then I'll... Go ahead.
It's just Christmas dishes, right? 'Cause I have a bird. No, it's not really like Bible related or anything like that, but the whole cherry pie thing or broccoli pie. So just context, when I was really little, I wanted broccoli for some reason, and my uncle cut up a piece of cherry pie and said it was broccoli pie.
Oh no.
After that, it wants cherry
It was
pie
just
before
red-
we would do anything for broccoli pie. And it just became a thing. Every Christmas we always have cherry pie before we do anything.
So we have to call it broccoli pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to have your vegetables first. So, yeah. Noah always, to this
That's how
day,
it
loves
gets-
broccoli.
That's how he gets his vegetables and dessert in at the same time.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be awesome if broccoli tasted like cherries but had the nutritional value of broccoli? That would be fantastic.
Now that's not it. You gotta cross them somehow, Jeremy.
Right, yeah. Well, we'll get right to work on that. We'd have a whole lot more people eating broccoli, but I think it would be a much more sulfurous smelling country if we did that. So, actually, that what I was going to tell was I was going to tell a story of Noah when we were in Mexico. It was always a tradition of ours. we would often coordinate different gift distributions, and so people would give gifts or send gifts down to give to the kids at the orphanages. And usually what we would do is on Christmas Eve we'd go around and we'd pass out all the gifts, and then we get in the car and we drive through the night back to Arizona so we could be home for Christmas morning. And it's just one of the things that always was very touching and that I enjoyed seeing was how involved the kids, both Noah and Bailyn, would get in wanting to distribute presents to the other kids. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's this one time when Noah was, we were delivering presents to the Huatuluzcuatai home, and I just remember like he was just tearing into the gifts, just like he was so I couldn't tell if he was excited to give the gifts to the kids or if he was just trying to get it done so we can get on the road, or which one. But he was just so excited. He was just like, he was grabbing on, and we had packed the orphanage kids' gifts and then the stuff that we were taking with us also. And so like he started unloading, and he just unloaded everything because he was just in this massive hurry. And like, so there's kids walking off with gifts and he's passing them out. I was like, you get it, like Oprah, you get a gift and you get a gift. We're like, whoa, stop, those aren't for them. And he was just so, and he was wearing his little Santa hat and
he was singing, I am Santa, I am Santa.
Yeah, something like that. So but he really got into the giving spirit where he even gave away some of our stuff too. But we managed to recover it and get it back in the car and get it to go with us. So, but just that zeal of helping other people was just something that I remember. So, yeah. Yes, broccoli pie.
The story behind that was that we had already had Christmas dinner, and we got to your mom's house and we had to have Christmas dinner again. And he just wanted pie. And then Chris was like, well, we've got broccoli pie. And he was like, yes, I want broccoli because Grammy didn't have broccoli. Etha had broccoli. That's awesome. And Uncle Chris got him pie instead of another dinner. Whereas everybody else told him he had to eat first. And poor little guy was like, I just ate. What do you mean I have to eat again? I just want the good stuff. So it became broccoli pie so that he could have vegetables. So he was like 3 years old. So yeah,
He was a little older than that.
3 or 4.
Yeah. So
But
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else?
I remember a time when my niece was staying with me when I lived in the trailer park, and she had 3 little ones, and we went around at Christmas time to see the Christmas lights. Well, her oldest one at that time was about 5 years old. She was just in kindergarten at the time. And we came upon a manger scene. And they weren't going to church at that time, only sporadically and that. And so she really didn't know what it was all about. And she says, why is that baby out there in the cold? And I says, well, that's baby Jesus. And I says, like you come to Aunt Barbie's house, you have no pillow or blankets. You had to bring your own, but he didn't have that. And he didn't have a place to stay. And I says, he don't even have a pillow. Well, and I was working at Kmart's on Henry at the time. Let's go over to Kmart's. Her eyes I swear they were as big as saucers. Let's go over to Kmart's and get him a pillow. And I'm thinking, if I'd had the money at the time, the extra money, I probably would have done it. But at the same time, I wonder what would the people would have thought. And that, but I thought that just stuck with me. And that had been over 25 years ago. And
Wow. Get a pillow for baby Jesus. Yeah. That's cool. I think was it one of Bailyn's like Chuito that we borrowed for a
One of her dolls.
yeah, one of her dolls was called Chuito, and man, she was angry. I was gonna say a bad word. She was mad. She was like, "That's my baby. You can't use my baby." She was not happy about that. We did not get permission to use that baby. It was unlicensed use, and we paid the price for that. She was very protective of that particular doll, and she did not like it to go out. So yeah,
Because she got it back. It was just for the church service.
Yeah, it was just temporary. So cool.
She didn't live that one down for a few years, but
That's good, Galen. Protect your dolls.
well, Chewy's also a nickname for a child named Jesus, and Jesus is Spanish for Jesus. So, I mean, the doll fit the bill, right? It was Chuyito. It was little Jesus. It was perfect.
Yeah. Cool. Well, like I said, tonight was going to be a short night because we didn't have much to prepare. We got to share some cool memories and take a look at a couple of Bible verses, and we even got a song. Thanks to Balin. Man,
Yay!
what a wonderful night! It's a Christmas miracle. So we'll go ahead and wrap up our time with just a word of prayer, and then unless anybody else had anything they wanted to add, we kind of went around the horn and even got Noah to speak on the record. So
put it on your calendars, folks.
Yep, mark this day in history.
This day in history.
In 2020.
I know. 2020.
Miracles still happen in 2020.
Yep. So.
In 2020, yep.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
Cool. It's not over yet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Whoops. I'm sorry. Somebody compared 2020 to the Lions, right? But everybody says the Lions are a fourth quarter. The Lions are a fourth quarter team, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing because we're in the last 2 minutes, right? And if you know football, the last 2 minutes of a football game can last an hour. So
that's what I always said. But I went into the bathroom in the last minutes, and I came back, and I don't know what the other team did, but they must have got a touchdown and a field goal while I was.
Well, you must have been in that bathroom a long time, Sherry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, with the Lions, anything is possible. So, thanks, guys. I will close us with the word of prayer, and we'll say bye to our friends who may be watching on Facebook or YouTube. Mess with my sleeve, maybe.
How's Jane tonight? How is Jane?
She's right there.
I'm good.
Jane? Oh, I hadn't seen her tonight.
Well, yeah.
Hey, sorry.
She was probably on the other page. You had to scroll to page 2. But anyways, we'll say goodbye to our friends on Facebook and YouTube.
There's Jane.
Who may be out there, and then we'll have some prayer requests. So let's go ahead and pray, and then we'll go into prayer request time. Father, we thank you for the gift of your Son and for all that means to us and to every person in the world. And we're so grateful that now in this time across the entire globe, people are taking a few moments to recognize and celebrate your birth and celebrate your coming. And so, Father, we are so thankful that your plan included us, and that your plan for redemption brought us all into the fold. And so tonight, Lord, we give you glory because you are alone are worthy, and we're thankful, Father, for the blessings that you've given us, the memories. We're also thankful for the hurts and the pain, Lord, that makes us appreciate the good things even more and are part of our story, part of our Christmas story. Mm-hmm. And so, Father, tonight we just want to give you all the glory. And we pray, Father, that those who are listening and watching, that they be blessed in this Christmas season, and that they will also be blessed in the new year to come. We thank you. We give you glory in Jesus' name. Amen. So, by Facebook and YouTube friends, we will see you